Coming up. You're watching QPTV Daily Social Live, QPTV.org's live daily show. I'm your host for today, James. The weather is frightful. It's slushy, it's snowy, it's wet, it's cold. Let's get to that alert. This is from the National Weather Service. There's a winter weather advisory. Remains in effect until 7 p.m. this evening. Mixed precipitation, additional snow accumulations of up to 1 inch, and ice accumulations of a light glaze. Plan on slippery conditions. The hazardous conditions can impact the evening commute. Be careful out there. Here's a weather update for Queens. This afternoon, snow likely. Mainly before 3 p.m. Cloudy with a high near 35. Wind chill values between 25 and 30. Northeast wind, 8 to 11 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 70%. Total daytime snow accumulation of less than 1 inch possible. And tonight, 30% chance of snow before 1 a.m. Cloudy, then gradually becoming partly cloudy with a low around 27. Wind chill values between 20 and 25. North wind 8 to 11 miles per hour. And on Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 35. Wind chill values between 15 and 25. Northwest winds 14 to 17 miles per hour. So for COVID-19, we want to update you that vaccines are now available to New Yorkers with underlying conditions, including heart disease, cancer, diabetes, pregnancy, immunocompromised conditions like HIV, and so on. You can find out where to get vaccinations in Queens. Just use nyc.gov's COVID-19 vaccine finder. Visit vaccinefinder.nyc.gov. We also have a ton of resources, information, links, and videos on COVID-19 and especially COVID-19 in Queens. QPTV's own Queens Conversations and Queens Perspectives has an ongoing series of episodes, including this week's episode, Creatives Dealing with COVID, focusing on how we're dealing with this here in the borough. Go to qptv.org to check it all out. And while you're at qptv.org, get all the latest news and updates from QPTV. Subscribe to our newsletter right now. Go to qptv.org/newsletter. Here's a Black History Month message from Queensborough President Donovan Richards from the Queens Conversation episodes celebrating Black History Month. And again, thanks to the Queens Conversations team, Lucia, Noran, and John, and of course, all of their wonderful guests. But we'll talk about their show a little later.
Here on QPTV. With roots tracing to the 1920s, Black History Month was not formally established in the United States until 1976. The struggle to get Black History Month to be widely acknowledged mirrors the many struggles Black Americans have had in a country that still carries the legacy of slavery and is often plagued by racist violence, such as when the homes of Black families in Queens were bombed a few decades ago when these families began to move to the borough. These struggles still continue today, as matter protests that took place last summer, and yes, Black lives do matter. In addition, many of the achievements of the historic Black heroes that we celebrate today were often resented and hated at the times they were taking place. Despite all this, Black Americans have proven to be resilient, creative, and more than capable of reaching new heights and breaking barriers. We see that today in the recent elections of Kamala Harris as Vice President and Letitia James as New York Attorney General, and in the appointment of Lloyd Austin as our country's first Black Defense Secretary. I myself am proud to follow in the footsteps of Helen Marshall, the first Black person to be elected president of the great borough of Queens. Black History Month helps ensure that the accomplishments of Black Americans are appropriately recognized and celebrated, as the people of all backgrounds have an opportunity to learn about them. It also helps us understand the importance of respecting people of all races and ethnicities, because all of us have dignity as human beings and deserve to pursue our dreams and contribute to society as best we know how. We Queens residents understand this because we live in the most diverse county in the continental United States. More than 138 languages are spoken in Queens, and nearly half of our population was born outside the US. That means folks from Queens are used to working with people of different backgrounds, and as we all strive to make the world's borough the best it can be. We also take pride in our borough's diversity and enjoy the many different cultural celebrations that take place here, including our borough's celebration of Black History Month. That's why it gives me great pleasure to be a part of this special Black History Month episode of Queen's Conversations, which will focus on the many outstanding African Americans that helped make Queens such a great place to live, work, and visit. It also gives me great pleasure to invite QPTV viewers to take place in the virtual Black History Month celebration I will be holding on Thursday, February 25th at 6 p.m. The event will air right here on QPTV and will also be live streamed on my office's website at www.queensbp.org. So please join us for what should be entertaining and thought-provoking evening marking the achievements of Black Americans in Queens and across the country. I thank QPTV for inviting me to contribute to this Black History Month program today. And I hope everyone watching has a special and meaningful celebration of Black History Month this year. Take care.
QPTV Radio is on the air, providing community-centered programming from Queens Public Television in New York City. QPTV Radio offers an interesting and eclectic mix of unique content, from QPTV's original podcasts to audio versions of our award-winning television programs. Listen to QPTV Radio at qptv.org or download the Live 365 app on your mobile device, and you can listen to QPTV Radio on the go.
Yeah. We're back, and I'm just happy to be getting this going this week. But I also have to please ask you to bear with this as we deal with all the technical bugs and working this out, but it's a lot of fun. So today we have another Nor'easter Award winner, and here's something hopefully to take your mind off the weather and back to the sunny outdoors. Back in November, QPTV won 7 Nor'easter Awards at the 2020 Northeast Region Alliance for Community Media Conference. Around Queens, Rugby Club won second place in the sports programming category. Queens Rugby Club was founded on the need for the borough of Queens to be represented at the forefront of the fastest growing sport in the United States today, rugby. The creation of the club started with Eric Mates, founder of the Queens Rugby Youth Team in 2018. Previously, Queens residents would have to travel long distances and stay out late at night to participate with other clubs that practice in Manhattan, Brooklyn, and the Bronx. But now the Queens Rugby Club has a club of their own right here in Queens, 40 members strong and growing. The Queens Rugby Club pride themselves on the team's demographic representing the diverse makeup of Queens. The club includes many natives of Queens, but also many expats from all over the world come to the team's practices as well. The Queens Rugby Club's mission is to unite the community and to teach new people how to play the game, as well as give veterans a place to play at home. You can watch this program and many more and learn more qptv.org/QPTV presents. And here we go.
The idea of the club really came around because we're based in Astoria, Long Island City area. There are no clubs in the area.
A lot of guys are from other clubs. You know, they wanted a fresh start. Some of them, especially, they wanted to support our local community.
This is probably the most important game we've had all season. If we win today, it means we're in the playoffs.
And you know, we're playing Rockaway, which was the only other club in Queens.
Well, I think this is a great day because these are 2 Queens teams that are playing today, apparently for the Queens Cup. So this is the first time we've had 2 clubs in Queens. There have been teams back and forth. Rugby's certainly growing across the nation, so it's good to see another new team in New York City.
We're loud and aggressive on defense. We're supportive on attack. No negativity ever.
Ready to attack, goes to the hammer, and then we just keep hammering. Got it, guys?
I live in Astoria, so when I saw that Queens Rugby was forming, I thought, you know what, why not try something new? Why not try a new club? And I'm really glad I did. It's been an absolutely fantastic experience so far.
My buddy Joel, who I've been playing with for the past 10 years, actually was one of the founders of the team. So he called me, he reached out, and I came down and I joined the team.
Queens has a lot to offer too, with players, with places to go to afterwards, and it's a nice neighborhood community.
We have several guys coming to practice every week, new faces. The word's getting out that, you know, Queens has a club again.
We've got a great bunch of guys, we're incredibly diverse. I think we speak something like 15 languages between us, which obviously Queens is the most linguistically diverse place on earth, not to mention culturally. So we're very representative of Queens.
They called me and asked, and I thought, wow, what a great opportunity. But all these years we've been trying to fight for rugby to build it. Now it's like easy. So as a coach, it's like a blessing. And look at these guys. I mean, they're working. How could you not coach a team like that?
We got a bunch of guys who've never played before and just wanted to try. A bunch of guys who played years ago but just haven't been playing for whatever reason, or even guys from other clubs too that just wanted to come back to Queens.
It's great fitness, it's running.
The most fun part is definitely the camaraderie. Rugby's a special sport in that there's a lot of mutual respect, not just amongst your teammates, but also with the opposing team.
Come on, guys! Go, boys!
It's really not easy to go through a full match, a full 80 minutes. You know, you never play at 100%. You always carry some knocks, something always hurts.
They were the right group of guys at the right time in the right place for this sport. I'm overwhelmed and proud of the accomplishments.
Right now, I think we're down 12-6, but against the #1 team in the league.
Yes, I'm real excited, rooting for the Queens Rugby Club. My fiancé is the president, and a lot of the guys are now my friends, so looking forward for the win. The most exciting part is just seeing them score. It takes a lot of teamwork to make it there.
It's a collision sport. A lot of people are going to get injured, and you know what? That's just part of the game, and people accept that.
Yeah, it's bad.
So here you go. Here's your pod. Here's your pod. He goes like this. He's going to give it to you. He's going to fake this. We're all here because we just love the freaking power, the emotion, and we're going to yell. We're going to scream today. It's going to be chaos. But in the end, we're all back at the end, and whether we lose or win, it's going to be a fun team for years. I've been playing 30 years, and this team has a different feel to it. It's like a special team.
1, 2, 3, Queens!
10 years. Hopefully we have a roster of over 100 people, field space with lights, a scrum machine would be nice, some equipment, you know. Right now we're running around in the dark, no equipment. We've had really great accomplishments despite our shortcomings. So.
The team has taken on a life of its own. It's bigger than the sum of its parts, and it's something I truly believe, if managed correctly into the future, can last forever.
You know, not the result we wanted, but I am so proud of everybody. You can't say we didn't try. We tried as hard as we possibly could. This was the most hard-fought match, and we left it all out there for this game. We wanted to win so badly, but this was the best game we played all season, and I'm proud of everybody. I'm proud of this club that we can only go up from here.
1, 2, 3, Queens!
If you're watching us, you might be on social media. And if you're on social media, you should watch us. Here's where you can find us on social media. We're at QPTV.org, of course. On the top of the site, you can go to any of our social media pages and profiles. But we're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. You can also email us, media@qptv.org. And turn the TV on and put on our channels. February is Black History Month, and we have live shows and programs on the website. You can watch them anytime. Just go to qptv.org/Black History, and we'll be bringing you Black History Month from a Queen's perspective all February.
Of the many contributors to the Flushing Library, one whose name is often mentioned is Mary Ann Shaw, an early benefactor and advocate for a free local library. Upon her death, Mrs. Shaw bequeathed $1,000 to the Flushing Free Library in 1905. In honor of Mrs. Shaw and her contributions to the Queen's Library at Flushing, her picture will be rehung in the new Flushing Library with her story. In addition, twice per year, the Queen's Library will present a public program dedicated to Mrs. Shaw and be a constant reminder of her accomplishment to all residents.
Behind the Conversations. Queen's Conversations is a live talk show featuring QPTV's award-winning production and hosting team, Lucia Dragos, Noran Omar, and John Collins, having discussions with a diverse spectrum of Queen's residents and leaders. Every topic is incredibly relevant, and every discussion is incredibly enlightening. Yesterday's show was particularly entertaining for a lot of the people who are into community media and just creatives in general. So we're going to give you a preview of that here today.
The club for you, so just rest assured, like if you're here and they're not, trust that. So I want to
probably that's a best time now that you started and you attracted all these people to your community. Great. So let's go to Adrian. Adrian, can you share what was life before, what is now during COVID, and what are your hopes for the future? Where are you going with your projects?
Well, with us, the first film festival we did was October 2019. Now, I used to own the video store some years ago. I owned the art studio. So fortunately, I have enough of a creative and professional and educational background to have put this together. So we did the 3 days in October, and it's like, okay, this is great. People showed up early. Then we moved on and did the February at the Jamaica Performing Arts Center, and I'm expecting maybe 100 people, almost 500 people, showed up. We didn't have enough staffing, right? And it turned out that finally, after all these years of being a creative, I picked the right thing, like yay, because with having all of the different genres and categories, plus we have those music videos, we also have live performances. And when I had the studio, we used to also we had a monthly pop-up shop. So we had the vendors. Then our senator gave out the community awards, and it was red carpet and so on and so forth. So all of that. And right after the February Film Festival, COVID kicked in. It's like, okay, everybody says it's going to be a couple of weeks, there'll be a couple of months. Then we rolled around to the next October Film Festival, and I'm sitting there going, wait, we're finally building up a name. We had submissions from 12 countries, 8 states flew in. We had a lot of politicians. The police department closed the street down. It was fabulous. So now we're sitting there going, okay, the world is shut down. What do you do? So we decided to hold the October 3-day film festival outside. And we did that for the 3 days, so we were able to monitor and control the crowd. So on one hand, it was great, that we were able to continue. But when you're building a brand and you're trying to get that traction, and because we don't have sponsors, we don't have funding, we don't have a large team. And, the pandemic just took all of us out. But we did have that time to sit down and regroup. So going into February 20th, queensunderground718.com. It will be free on Facebook Live. Now we're going from having 500 people in person to 5 of us. The team is going to be right here in my living room, joining everyone live. And then we'll pick it back up in April. So this way, April, we'll have 4 days with the live entertainment and the vendors and everything else. And this way it can be in person. Because I think I'm getting emails all the time. Everyone wants to do a panel now. Everyone's missing the red carpet and just missing, being together. So fortunately, we've been able to keep going. And then the venues in New York are closed. The ones in Long Island are still open. However, they want the same amount of money for 20 or 50 people. That's, that's not necessarily the most practical thing. So what we were able to do during this time was find a virtual platform. So we're virtual. And people can go on like you're going to a regular film festival. But someone has said earlier, either Ariel or Phil, now I think it was Ariel, now what's missing is that in-person component. So you're home and it's nice that you can wear your PJs, you can get your popcorn, you can do whatever, but is it the same watching a film festival virtually as it is in person with all of that energy and you're able to network? People did some powerful, networking. A couple of movie studios came out. So all we can do now is just hope that at some point, either we'll be able to afford a better virtual platform or that we're able to get back together. But I do feel for all of the artists, a lot of filmmakers, a lot of people are going into depression. This is, really serious, but we're just going to keep moving forward. This year we have submissions from 15 countries so far, which is pretty cool. So that's more, than the last time. And the films, the work is outstanding, but I want everyone to see it. This was the whole point of doing this. So no matter what type of creative you are, you have a platform where everyone can come together. So we'll see.
Barbara, Phil mentioned
Looks like our Rockaway cam is out. In the future, we'll be able to switch these quickly on the fly. But I don't know. The weather It was pretty calm a minute ago and looks like it's starting to come down again. Please, please, please drive very safely. Stay in if you can. Ah, there we go. The Daily Social. I think we have a couple of things on social media we could show you. This is a follow-up from yesterday's video. The health commissioner is asking people, they're recommending, not mandating, but recommending that people wear 2 face masks. And we also have the Langston Hughes Library. It's closed today. Here's something from the Alliance for Community Media, referencing the Hometown 2020 award winners. Go to qptv.org to see some of our award-winning videos. If you have any questions, send them over to media@qptv.org. And we're just about done for today. Next week, we'll have a lot more. We'll see what the weather is like by then. And we'll be getting into more Black History Month. And a couple of few events we're going to talk about that are going to be on the channels and on this website. So you don't want to miss any of it. Follow, like, subscribe, watch, learn, create. Thank you again for tuning in to Daily Social Live from QPTV.org. We'll be back again with more We'll be back again with more on what you should know from Queens Public Television. We can't do this without you. In fact, we're here for you. We want you to become a part of our in real life social network. Go to qptv.org to find out how to watch, learn, and create with QPTV. Tell your friends about us, share and subscribe. Stay safe and be well.